Hi guys, my name is Ilya, I'm from Gravity Loss FPV, and today we are going to show you assembling process of our new Gravity Loss FPV freestyle frame for 2021 season. Just to ease up the assembling process for you, we're gonna make step-by-step video of how it's gonna be. And watch out. Let's start. Here we have all the components for our freestyle frame. Here we have the arms, cam plates, additional plates, top plate, bottom plate, center plate, set of screws, 3D printed parts for mounting analog antenna and TBS antenna, standoffs, soft part for the battery, bumper, aluminum bumper, double nuts, and cone washers with our signature design. And let's go ahead and unpack all the parts. We are using gloss carbon fiber for our plates. It's our production plates. It's extremely strong because we were choosing the correct epoxy and carbon fiber. It's not Chinese carbon or Chinese epoxy. It's completely different because it's a bit more flexible, so we haven't seen any delamination process on these plates. Here is a bottom plate with our new logo. Top plate. And this is our cam plate. I'm gonna show you some interesting stuff we did with these parts. Here we have a Here we have a capacitor support and back plate for VTX and analog antenna holder. You getting a set of our fresh new arms. We completely remake our manufacturing process for the arms, and now it's we get an effect when you have carbon fiber completely wrapping around. The main thing about our arms is that you have outer surface is few layers of carbon fiber cloth, 160 gram per square meter. It's laid down with 45 degree, so we're making sure that our arms can't delaminate along the arm in here when we screw it down to the body, so we make it even more stronger compared to previous version. Inside we have carbon fiber unidirectional laid down along the arm. Now it's two-step process, so it means that we're making a outer surface first and then putting together two halves of the arm, you can see here, with the unidirectional carbon in the center. So we make it extremely strong. We did test it a lot in a country jungle in our bando and something, and we completely remove any delamination on these arms. We have 4 arms. Let's go ahead and unpack our standoffs. Now it's black. Here is front and back center standoffs, back standoffs, and front standoffs. Nice. Let's go ahead and unplug these cone washers. As you can see, we're always trying to move forward and improve our design. So now our cone washers is made with these cuts, which remove 0.6 gram on each cone washer. It's pretty nice. In total we have 8 cone washers, so you can calculate how much weight would drop down. Here we have a double nut. It's made for holding our flight controller and arms together. Foam pad. We choose extremely lightweight foam. It's doing its job, but it's pretty soft, holding the battery in place really nicely, and it weighs almost nothing. Here we have a bumper. It's a bit new design with some cuts in here to remove weight. For our analog setup, we have antenna holder for VTX and TBS holder, TBS antenna holder. It goes back in here, the plate. It goes really nicely with TBS antennas, Immortal T. We usually use an Immortal T. Okay, and a set of screws. First of all, we're gonna install our double nuts. It goes like this. Here you see 4mm hole, and here is a extrude in here, and it goes straight inside from here. Just click it inside. Next, we take in these screws, countersunk screws. And we screw it down from the back side of this plate, here where you see the fillet and hole. Once it's in place, we can tighten it down nicely. Done. Okay, next step, we're gonna need a bottom plate. So logo goes on the bottom part of the drone. So what we're gonna need is this 15mm screws. And to ease up the assembly process, we install screws in cone washers and you put it inside from the side of our logo side. And we gonna need 4 of these screws for the start. Done. When it's done, we flip it over, lay it down on the table, and we're taking our arms, and you see here we have a shorter side and longer side. So longer side goes along from front to back of the drone, and we can install it here. This one goes here. This one goes here in the back, and last one at the front. Once it's installed, we are taking our center plate with installed double nuts and screws, and we're basically using this second holes on a double nuts. But main thing, you can see we changed the construction of this plate basically to reinforce the front side, front of the drone, and we have this cuts over here. So camera mount should be closer to the top, and we install it like this. And second one, checking the correct side, and we install it same way on the other side. Now we're ready to install this assembly on top of our bottom part. What I'm doing is basically pressing this together, installing cam plates in a holes over here on the bottom plate. Flip it over, holding together, and we can start screwing down. So you're gonna need a 2.5mm screwdriver for these screws. The best technique is screwing down cross. Don't tighten it for now, just a little bit to hold plates together, because next step is we're taking next 4 cone washers and screws, align the holes with on the arm and the plates, and basically just press it in. We make these holes in here for the arms mount pretty tight, so don't be shy and just press it with a nice force. Just to make sure we don't have any movement when you have an impact on the side of the arms. Okay, once our screw installed, we can flip it over, lay it down on the table. And our new part in the construction is this plate. Basically, you can see this hole and the same hole in here, but it's open from the front. It's made to easily install your capacitor inside the drone. And the main thing is this plate distributes the force from impact at the front of the drone to the standoffs. So basically we're reinforcing even more our front part. You just should slide it in here before installing our standoffs. Now we can go ahead and install our center front standoffs. I'm usually putting flat side outside of the drone and the opening to the center. So you do it this way. You can see this plate and this one is holding around the standoff. Once it's in place, you can flip it over and screw it down. Don't tighten it yet. Second one. As you can see, our construction of our standoffs is removing any steel parts in our plate, so you don't need any steel nuts or something. Everything is aluminum, so make sure that you are using Loctite blue one that is holding your screws inside the aluminum pretty nicely, and you're just making sure it doesn't come out in flight. Now we can go ahead and install our rear center standoffs. Just screw it down in here. Again, I'm usually putting this flat side outside of the drone. Second one. Don't tighten it straight away. Now we can go ahead and install the second screws for each of these standoffs. This one, shorter one, and goes in here. You're gonna need a 2 mil screwdriver for these screws. And you can tighten it down straight away. Just make sure you align the hole on the standoff with the hole on the plate, just to be sure you're not damaging a thread. Okay, tighten it down. Now we can tighten these 2 screws. Usually, I know that before I'm screwing down, I was checking with a screwdriver. It's with special screwdriver. It's 2 Newton meters, and I never had any issues with aluminum thread in our standoffs. So if you have this tool, better to use it. 2 Newton meters, just perfect. Now we can install these tiny screws in here at the front. You can tighten it straight away, same way as we did at the back. Done. And it's time to tighten these screws and the center ones. Afterwards is the first time you can see the stiffness of this frame. It's just phenomenal. This is how it looks. Now we can go ahead and install our front standoffs. Again, I'm using the flat side to the front. And you shouldn't forget about the bumper. It goes nicely in here, as you can see. Then you install the screw. Next thing is you put in a standoff in here. And you're gonna need a 2mm screwdriver. Tighten it a bit. On the other side. Just press it in. Line it and screw it down. Once it's in place, the last thing is rear standoffs, is the shorter ones. Installing the screw. Screw it down. Done. Down. Okay, it's almost ready. Just a few steps ahead. Before installing the top plate, in case you're assembling a analog system on your drone, you're gonna need this part. This is the back plate. You can see this is the front side. It goes to the front of the drone. And this is the rear side and goes like this. You can't install it the other way because this things is not aligned with the bottom ones, so you can't make a mistake in here. For analog antenna mount, we are using this 3D printed part, and it goes in here on this plate, and you basically can screw it down with the screws, goes with this part. You can put SMA connector in here, so the antenna will hold with plastic around and you can't unscrew it in the air. and screws goes from the side of antenna and screw down to your connector. Then it goes like this around, basically clicks in here and goes at the back over here. If you're using a TBS Immortal T antenna, this component is made for a drone. It goes at the back over here between two standoffs, and you install it the same way. You just press it in, it goes nicely around the plate and holds really nicely on, and holds your antenna really nicely. Then you can press it inside here and install your top plate. You can see it's two holes in here and front plate, so you make sure you align these holes with vertical plate over here. Just press it in place. And before screwing down the top plate, I'm usually prefer to glue down the foam pad, and you just put it carefully on top. Just align it with the carbon plate. It's done. A few presses. And the last step is basically screwing down the top plate and install top screws. In case you are using our 3D printed mounts for GoPro, you have a longer screws together with your print. It goes together with your print. And we just screw it up. Don't tighten it straight away. I'm gonna repeat this. It down. With these screws you can use also 2Nm screwdriver if you have one. And it's done. Thank you guys for watching. I hope this video will help you with assembling our frame, and if you have some questions or any suggestions, we're always open to discussion and answering your questions, and we're here to help you.